on, your face is chopped off.
So it's a non-Facebook.
No, you gotta move over. There you go.
Now, it's a whole body book.
Yes, it's a whole body book. Okay, and then what we're gonna do for here...
Turn that off, would you?
We are going to share this. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. I think I had it muted. Can you guys hear us?
On YouTube?
Can you guys hear us on YouTube?
Not if you can. Alright, good.
If you can. Okay, so I'm going to start this up. Now, this is, of course, recording our wraparounds for the week, so we've already recorded
Our main body of the show.
Our show, yes.
Which is the recap of Volume 2 of Clone Wars.
Ooh, exciting. Okay, so, card reader. Alright, we're going to go down. There we go. Give me a second while I set this up.
You take your time.
Well, you talk to them.
Take your time. No hurry. Take your time.
Really?
What?
I saw your eyes roll.
Nuh-uh.
There's like 2 screens I can see your eyes roll from. Okay. I'm going to have you... Why am I not... This is on, but... Oh, you know why I'm not seeing it? I need to plug in my microphone. That would help. Okay. There we go. Plugged in. Cords are up here, so they're not bumping my leg. Hello, hello. All right, Richard, I need you to speak.
Test, 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 and test, 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 test.
Perfect.
Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars,
Yay.
Clone Wars.
We are ready to go.
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. Okay. So I'm going to press record. Here. You know what? We're going to press record. Bing. We're recording now. Yay.
All right.
I guess we need our notes. Here we go.
Yeah, we don't.
There we go. All right. Yay. Can you guys comment? I'm hoping you guys can comment. Let me just check that. Yeah, it should show it. Okay.
Might be too early. No, it's 10.
No, it's fine.
It's 10.
Yeah, we're good. Well, thank you for joining us. Okay, here we go. This is what you can look forward to on episode 174 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers! Are you ready to talk some Star Wars and Disney this week? Well, if your answer is a big resounding yes, then we want to welcome you all to Skywalking Through Neverland. This is your fun-filled positive Star Wars and Disney podcast that takes you through a tour through the many years and decades of fandom.
Awesome.
I am Richard Wolofsky, and now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah.
Hello, and hello to our Star Wars and Disney family, and Harry Potter family, because it's been 20 years since Harry Potter has been out in book form, so I know fun things were going around on Facebook yesterday.
Have they ever done a follow-up to the first book?
Yes, I think they have.
Oh, okay. Good.
Well, we like to start each and every show with a giant Wookiee hug to our family of Skywalkers who listen to the show every week. And of course, the SkyTubers over here and the face huggers who watch our live stream on YouTube and Facebook. And everyone who tweets at us, we are at Skywalking Pod. And you know what? We just love it when we all share the positivity about our collective adventure through fandom. And once again, if you'd like to head to our YouTube channel where we have many things going, not just our show, you can go to youtube.com/skywalkingthroughneverland to subscribe.
Now, we are recording this from sunny Long Beach, California, where it is a very balmy 97 degrees on June the 27th, 2017. Now, Minnie, what time is it?
It's 9:56. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you too, Minnie. Now, coming up on this week's show, we're gonna recap our breakdown of the Clone Wars micro-series. Now, joining us will be Jocasta Drew Kaplan.
All right, start that whole sentence over.
Okay, move it up.
Okay. You got it. There we go.
All right, take 5. Now, coming up on this week's show, we're going to continue our recap of the Clone Wars micro-series. On episode 169, we did Volume 1. Now we're going to continue with Volume 2. And joining us to break down this volume will be our own book reviewer, Jocasta Drew Kaplan, and Skywalker Nitsan Harel. Now, this is part of our lead-up to Forces of Destiny,
Yeah.
which premieres next month on YouTube's Disney Channel. And this follows the same micro format and animation style of Clone Wars.
It's so cool. So, you know what? We also have shout-outs on this episode, a Skywalker of the Week, and things we want to share.
But first, we want to invite all the Skywalkers to join us on upcoming episodes, because we're going to ask you for your highlight fandom moments. All right? Now, we're going to start this new segment today, and it's going to be reoccurring, so we want to hear it from everybody. And this is highlights in fandom, and we want to get your take. Now, what do you think pushed fandom to a whole new level and a whole different direction? It could be a film release, a TV debut, a toy, collectible, etc. And what personal angle do you have with it? So it's not just a story, but what was it that pushed fandom?
So do you think something like the Thrawn novels being released in 91, would that be something that kind of changed the direction of fandom?
Oh, very, very much so.
Okay, and then
Because-
personally for me, you know, that's where
Right.
my fandom kind of blossomed.
Yeah, Heir to the Empire, good
Okay.
example right there. That really, really pushing fandom.
Yeah.
Hey, that was the book that woke fandom up. So something,
yeah, really.
something like that. Now, if you had seen our podcast stage show at Star Wars Celebration Orlando, we did something very similar. And I thought, wow, there's so many great moments that really pushed fandom to a whole new level and a whole new direction. Like something that comes to mind right now for me is the Star Wars storybook that came out in 1978. Because we didn't have VHS, we didn't have Blu-rays, we didn't have YouTube. We had books.
Okay.
And we had to go through these books, and that's what really pushed us through the fandom years between films, because back in the 70s and 80s, 3 years, wow, that was a lifetime.
And now we also want to open this up to Disney fandom as well. Is there something that pushed your Disney fandom and something that changed the course of Disney fandom? Like, actually, Walt Disney dying would be kind of a moment there. Although that wasn't personal to me, but that kind of changed the course of the Disney studios.
Right, and of course, if you can make it more personal, it makes
Yes.
it much more interesting too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now we can either do this over Skype, we can arrange a Skype call with you, or you could just send in a pre-recorded message. Now, there's no time frame on this since it's a reoccurring segment, but if you do submit a pre-recorded message, send to share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com and keep it at about a minute or two. It's always a good time length.
Okay. Yeah, just enough to tell your story and what that means to you.
Yeah, start with your name.
Yes.
If you're with a podcast or a website, go ahead and give that a plug. And then start it off with, I think a big push in fandom is when... There you go.
Right.
So easy as that. And there's so many different answers we've been getting. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. But now, let's kick off this new Fandom Highlights segment. And we're open to names for this segment. With Dave Parfit from AdventuresByDaddy.com.
Yay! Alright, I'm going to share this. Hold on. I'm going to share this in our Facebook group. So, awesome, you guys. Thank you. Oh, good. I can share this. Group. Thing. Don't mind me while I, social media. Live now, post. Okay, I did it.
Okay, good.
So, on to our next segment?
Nope.
Okay.
So Dave had a really great fandom moment there with the story of Star Wars. The record that, like the book, that was what kept you going through to the next film, the next release, the next something.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dave, I listened to that story of Star Wars, I can't tell you how many times, to the point where I would see the movie and think, wait a minute, that's not how it goes. Because I was used to the edited version of the record.
Okay, and does the record also have, like, Biggs in it? Or no?
No.
Okay.
No, it barely had the movie itself in it. And it had the narration by Roscoe Lee Brown, which was good. He's got a great voice, but I wanted to say, hey, Roscoe, shh. Let's let the story do the talking, okay?
Gotcha.
Because he would sometimes interrupt over the dialogue or something, the way it was edited. Mm-hmm. I wanted to hear every second that I could. So thank you, Dave. That was a great moment because, once again, that really pushed the fans who had few and far between to look forward to, who had few and far between movies. At that point, it was just the movies. No shows, no video games, no nothing. We had that to get us through.
Right.
So the book, you could see the pictures, but now we could hear. Oh, it's like Reese's peanut butter cups. If you got one and the other, the book and the record, I never did that as a kid.
Oh, wow.
I could flip to the book and listen to the Oh!
You didn't do that?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I need a Wayback Machine right now.
You need a time turner.
I didn't think about it until right now. I could have one medium and the other to form this one big collective Wonder Twin power medium. Oh my goodness. Oh. Alright, you know what? I'll have to go back in time to tell myself to look forward to this episode coming up, okay?
Okay.
Useful information. So once again, Skywalkers, we want to hear from you about your Star Wars and Disney fandom highlights.
Yes, so please, once again, send those to share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com or email us there and say you want to record and we'll set up a time.
Alright, with that, let's move on to Things We Want to Share.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you start this
Sure.
one?
So on Father's Day, we did several really awesome things, and for one thing, my dad is very tech savvy. He loves new technology. He's an electrical engineer, and he just loves anything new. So we thought that taking him to the IMAX VR Center in LA would be the perfect Father's Day thing to do. So that is what we did.
And we've been planning on this for months and months and months, but just never got around to it. And now if you had gone to Celebration, you may have seen these. Oh, was it just at Europe, or was it at Orlando as well?
I think it might have been at Orlando, but we heard about it from Celebration Europe from Trisha and her experience.
But the lines were always so long, we just bailed out.
Right. Well, we weren't at Europe.
Oh no, but at Orlando, that's why we didn't do it in Orlando, even though it was right there. We thought, you know what, we'll get around to it sometime, and that sometime came last Sunday.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So it was amazing. There's many different experiences you can try, one of which is Trials on Tatooine, which is the experience that Trisha experienced. And so we were like, okay, well, we all have to do this one.
If you ever wanted to be in Star Wars, this was your opportunity. It was like being in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now this, what was it, 10 minutes? 10-minute experience? Had a storyline to it. Now, Sarah, go ahead and read the opening crawl.
Okay.
Like every Star Wars adventure, except for Rogue One.
Right, so you
gotta start with a crawl.
Well, first of all, you put on these glasses, you're given a little controller in your hand, it's like a wand, and then you wear this, like, backpack that has
sensors.
Sensors, but it has, what is it? Like, it moves, like, it'll shake your body when something like a big, like the Millennium Falcon flies over you.
So, that's what helps give it the 4D experience.
Yeah, exactly. So you're standing here in the middle of space, and you see this crawl come up, like, under your feet. And it says, It is a time of rebuilding. Having defeated the evil Galactic Empire, the Rebel Alliance has reformed as the New Republic. After many journeys to distant corners of the galaxy, uncovering secrets from the forgotten past, Luke Skywalker stands ready to create a new Jedi Order. One hopeful Padawan is studying the ways of the Force on a distant desert world, awaiting an important delivery from Han Solo.
And who is that hopeful Padawan? It's you!
Yeah!
You get to be that hopeful Padawan.
Yeah!
So within this 10-minute experience, the Millennium Falcon flies over you and lands right beside you. And I don't know about you, Sarah, but I found myself kind of ducking and weaving so I wouldn't get hit by the boarding ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like you were right there. I mean, you actually felt like you could feel the wind from the Falcon landing.
And R2 comes out and is sitting right by you. And then I don't know about you, but my guy didn't tell me anything about how to control the wand or anything. So if you put the wand out in front of you in your hand, you actually see like a ghost hand, like it's your hand.
Yeah. Virtual reality
hand. And so at one point you have to like pull down a ramp or the story won't go any further. And so you're standing there like, what's going on? How do I do this?
Yeah, so you need some instructions.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can open a compartment that reveals a control panel.
Yes.
With 3 buttons you gotta press.
And guess which one you had to press?
The red button! Guess which one I instinctively went for?
The red button.
Now I forget what happened. I think you shut down Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, I forget what happened too, but you had to then press a whole bunch of series of buttons and the panel went back up. But then you had to get your lightsaber.
Why?
Because there was troopers coming at you, right?
Shuttle looms right over you and
Yeah.
lands in the distance. And what comes running out of the shuttle?
Stormtroopers!
A legion of stormtroopers, and they're firing right at you. And I've never seen lasers come at you just like this. I mean, it really felt like they were gonna beam you right in the face, and it was done so well, so photorealistic. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And once again, you really feel like you're in the moment.
You're holding your lightsaber, and it feels like you're holding a lightsaber, and like it's the coolest experience to be like swinging this wand around, and it's a lightsaber. It's lit up. It's like lighting up the space around you like electric.
Yeah, but you're using your lightsaber to deflect the laser bolts.
Yeah, then that's what you do. So, you're deflecting the laser bolts, and depending on how good you are, you can get that laser bolts to deflect right back at the stormtrooper.
And we're telling you this because they didn't tell us to do this.
No, no.
If you live in Los Angeles and you want to go to this experience, by all means, please go. But just know some of the operators, they haven't been on these certain experiences, so they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But it's very instinctual that you have a lightsaber, there's stormtroopers shooting at you, and you start blocking and defending yourself.
Well, it's instinctual to us. My mom, however, I watched my mom, and it's funny because Richard and I both instinctually hold the lightsaber with 2 hands. You know, it's easier to control that way. And my mom was like, I don't know what to do. And it's kind of funny because...
Like she's swatting fireflies.
Yes. It's kind of funny because you're in these cubicles where anyone can watch you. Anyone can watch and see what you're doing. And then there's a screen where they can see what you're seeing. So I was watching my mom. I even took some video and stuff of her doing it.
You took video of me, right?
I did. And I need to show you that.
We're going to post that.
Yeah, we'll post the videos on our YouTube channel. So we'll do that. It's really funny.
So you know what? I could have done 20 minutes of battling those stormtroopers.
Yeah, totally. And then after you battle the stormtroopers, I know you hear Han Solo, but the credits roll up, but it lets you have your lightsaber. So as you're watching the credits, you can be like zoom, 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 and like still pretend to have fun with your lightsaber.
Only my guy took off my visors before the credits stopped rolling. Dude, not over. I'm a credit watcher.
Yeah.
There could be a Marvel type tag at the end. Put him back on. He's like, oh, no, not funny. I want to read the credits. And it looks like the credits are coming down from below you.
Yeah.
And goes up into the distance.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 2-story tall credit roll, and I wanted to witness this experience.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't done with it, so dude, put those back on.
Well, what was cool is we saw Hannah Gillis' name there, which we talked with her on Fangirls Going Rogue, so that was really neat.
Dave Filoni's name was in there,
Yeah.
Matt Wood, Pablo Hidalgo.
Yeah.
So
like,
yeah,
yay.
I wanted to see these names. Now, how many times did you get hit by the stormtroopers?
Oh, I don't know. I think at least a couple. Yeah, because the backpack like will zing you.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see how close those laser bolts were gonna go, so I get hit quite a few times. And the back vibration kind of felt like a little massage.
Oh, funny.
so bring it on, troopers.
Also, what was funny, Richard, is that you had your lightsaber, and part of the VR helmet has this, like, to get the sound, you have to have it's not wireless. So you have a wire attached to your head, and it kind of goes up because they have it going up to the ceiling, so it doesn't really hinder you around. But because you're swinging your lightsaber around, I think you kept hitting it. That's funny.
Nice. Now, what other experiences did we do that day?
Okay, so they're at this IMAX VR center. They have different experiences which can also be multiplayer, which is kind of cool. So we did Raising a Ruckus, which was a 4-person multiplayer, although this one didn't really wow me so much because unlike Trials on Tatooine where you're actually in the story and have to participate for it to unfold, Raising a Ruckus was literally like you're in a movie theater in these D-box seats and you just watch the story unfold around you. You can't really do anything. You don't have a wand. You don't have any controllers.
You're just a spectator, but this one was the least expensive.
Yeah.
I think each one runs about $10.
Yeah.
This one was like 8.
10 per person. So like it was 8 per person for Raising a Ruckus.
Yeah. But it was a great little story.
Yeah.
It was great graphics. I enjoyed it, but yeah, it's not a participating experience.
Right. And then I know my dad did The Walk, which is based on that movie The Walk, where a guy walks across a tightrope across these giant, really tall buildings. And so that one was also cheaper because literally
all you did was walk.
You walk the tightrope. And you're in the VR environment, so it looks like you are that far up. But and I saw they had like a rope taped to the ground diagonally in the
cubicle.
In the cubicle, and so you just watch Dad go back and forth across the rope.
So I was kind of interested in that one, but I went over to the Paranormal Activity VR experience.
Now, how is that?
I love being freaked. I hate slasher films and gory films. Like, they do nothing for me, but a good spook film, just puts me on edge. And I love those Paranormal Activity movies. They do just that, or maybe the first 2. In this one, you're actually in the haunted house. Only once again, the guy who was operating this experience, he was too freaked to have done it. So he didn't really know what I was supposed to do.
Oh, no.
And neither did I. And you're supposed to go around and collect these objects and put them in a side bag. But the main objective is to get out of the house.
Oh.
I didn't know that until we were done.
Okay.
So I said to the guy, are we done? What happened? He said, I think you're supposed to leave the house. You tell me this now? Just got mauled by this little pixie ghost. You telling me this now? But it really was freaky. Those movies are very, very freaky. And you're walking around this dark house. You have a flashlight. You gotta go find batteries, and things start falling on you. And you're hearing voices all around your head. And you hear little children saying, "Look out, she's here. You better go." That puts when you ever hear those little kid voices, or you see a tricycle in the distance and the wheel is still spinning, or the merry-go-round at the playground going around very slowly, nothing good is going to happen from there.
Yeah.
And these ghosts just disappear. I don't want to give anything away too much in case you're going to do it, Skywalkers. It's fun, but just know what you're supposed to do before you go into it.
Right.
Because I died and didn't know what I was supposed to. I could have left like 5 minutes ago.
Right. Well, what's interesting about this experience, and we watched someone else do it, is you have your controller, but unlike Trials on Tatooine, where you're in one spot, in Paranormal Activity, you actually can move around with your controller. So you, point to a certain area, right, and click a button, and then all of a sudden you're in that area.
Well, you walk with the controller.
Okay.
But when you want to walk, what do? You move your legs.
Right.
But you can just stand still and move the controller. That walks you. However, when there's a ghost chasing you, you want to move your legs.
Yeah.
And the guys did say he's seen a lot of people run into walls. Whenever I had a question, I asked him. I could hear him like right next to me.
Right.
I know he was there to protect people from running into walls. Because once again, you hear a ghost at your back, you're out of there. You're gonna go down those flight of stairs. You're gonna go and walk the buildings.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you're gonna run to Tatooine.
Yeah, and what's interesting is in these experiences, they set up like your space, and so if you walk too far, you'll see like this grid come up.
Right.
And so you know,
But
I should back up.
When you're running from ghosts,
Well, yes.
you don't see that grid until it's too late.
Right. But I'm saying like Trials on Tatooine, it was easy to see that grid
Yeah.
and be like, oh, I'm going too far.
With Trials on Tatooine, you're just standing there.
Yeah.
There's no reason to move
Right.
except moving the lightsaber. But
Mhm.
once again, you're in a haunted house. You're hearing children cry. You're hearing the squeak of a tricycle wheel. Yeah, you want to get out of that house really quickly.
Heck no.
And that
Mm-mm.
front door was like right next to me too. Dude, tell me these things.
Wow. All right, so then I think our final multiplayer experience, that was my second favorite, Beyond Trials on Tatooine.
Oh, one more thing about
Oh, yes.
the paranormal activity.
Sorry.
It's fun just to go there and watch others do it.
Yes.
Because it really is freaky.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact...
One girl screamed.
Yeah,
she was
there was
screaming
some
bloody
screaming.
murder. She was cowering on the ground. So, yeah, once again, the freak factor is like at an 11.
Yeah, so actually, this is what I would recommend, because when I was setting up times, they said that you were going to pod, so I thought you would be enclosed.
Right.
And so I scheduled everyone at the same times for things, but what I would do next time is actually schedule one individual at a certain time, another, so that everyone can watch.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And you can even record them as they're playing.
Yeah, they don't care. Like, you can just wander around backstage and record people. It's really fun.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So yeah, I would even, like, I set so many experiences for us, but I think, looking back, I would just have everyone do kind of, similar ones. So, okay.
So the experience, A+, customer service, B-.
Yeah, depending on the guy.
Yeah, they just gotta know what they're getting into.
Some of them were really good, and some of them were like, here you go, okay, go.
Yeah, and now let me take this off before the credits have finished rolling.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna backhand you so hard.
Yeah. Hi, Patrick. Patrick Izzo has
Well,
joined
Patrick
us.
Izzo. Hey, stay tuned, Patrick Izzo. I'm gonna give you a big shout out in a few minutes.
Okay. Oh, so then, yes.
Then, alright, then, our Father's Day adventure
Oh, no.
continued. Oh, what? I'm sorry.
We had one more thing at the VR
Oh,
experience.
we did, didn't
My
we?
second favorite one was the Eagle Flight
Oh, that was so much fun.
multiplayer.
That was so much fun.
So what this is my dad, Richard, you, and I, we all went to do this multiplayer, and it's like this game. So it's like a video game, but with virtual reality. So we all, once again, put on our virtual reality headsets, our headphones, and then you sat in a chair, which had the backpack on it. So that, like, if you're sitting in the chair, you can feel what's happening. And these chairs didn't move like D-Box seats. But what you did was you were controlling an eagle that was flying around Paris. And it was basically a game of capture the flag, only it was capture the bunnies. So you had a game controller in your hand, like your typical Xbox game controller, and certain things you control with the motion of your head. Like if you tilt your head with your ear to your right shoulder, you would veer right. And if you tilt your head with your ear to your left shoulder, you would veer left in the game as you fly. And then if you wanted to go faster, you'd press the controller, or slower, you'd press the controller. And you'd also press the controller to let out an eagle screech, which knocked the other player, like the bunny from the other player, if they had it. So the whole object was to get that bunny first and bring it to a certain location before the other team could. So Richard, you and Dad were on one team against me.
Yeah, because you always win.
I'm more the gamer. Yeah.
We got to double our odds.
Yeah, it was fun. And so, yeah, I won the first game.
Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did.
Because I found that spiraling, instead of flying over the city, you could fly through the building and then stuff, and then they couldn't get me with a screech. So I would fly through the buildings and then get to...
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'd splat myself against the wall of a building and die.
Honestly, I never really tried most of the time. I just wanted to fly and feel the wind beneath my wings.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, so that must have been Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Dad screeching me.
Yeah, I let him down.
But it was super fun. Like, did you guys enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. You get to save bunnies.
Yeah.
Best game ever.
It was really neat. And unfortunately, though, after that one, that was like my third or fourth VR experience, and I kind of felt a little woozy.
Yeah.
So just be aware that it could mess with your equilibrium a little bit if you're susceptible.
That's why we stood to the side and watched those girls play the Paranormal Activity Experience.
Yes.
That was fun.
That was. Helped me get my
All
footing
right.
there.
Yeah. So what else did we do on our Adventurous Day Extravaganza Father's Day 2017?
Okay, well, at Griffith Park, only the first and third Sundays of each month is Walt's Barn open. And so Father's Day happened to be the third Sunday of the month, and Walt's Barn is open to people. It's free, and this is the actual barn where Walt Disney had on Carolwood Drive.
In Holmby Hills, which is a little suburb in Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like totally restored. They have his desk there. They have his washroom. They have his
mirror. He used to shave.
His shaving set. They have like his shaving set and mirror and stuff. And then a whole bunch of, well, they have a train.
Yeah.
There, which you can ride.
Yeah, but within the barn. They didn't recreate this barn. Mm-hmm. They lifted it up from Holmby Hills and moved it very gently to Griffith Park here in Los Angeles and set it down and made sure it was all structurally sound and cemented into the ground. So this was the actual barn. And the barn isn't that huge.
Right.
But it's a nice little workspace that you can see Walt in.
Yeah, and here's a tip. Get there early.
Yes.
Because we waited about 5 minutes and got into the barn because they only let a certain amount of people in because it is kind of small. And like anytime later in that day, there was this line wrapping around the barn.
And it opens at 11 a.m. Mm-hmm. At 11:15, you have like celebration lines.
Yes.
People are cutting each other. People are fighting. Oh, hold on, I was flashing back. They weren't fighting at all. It's Disney. They weren't fighting.
Yeah.
And when you walk into Walt's barn, who do you see?
Margaret Carey!
Our fairy pod mother, right there, ready with open arms, and she took us on a little personal tour of the barn, showed us the desk where Walt used to sit.
I was so excited that she got to meet my parents because she totally reminds me of my grandma. So, like, seeing her and my mom together was so cute, and I just loved it.
Yeah, and there's memorabilia from Walt's personal collection.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff that's just sitting there. It's like, oh, I hope someone's watching this stuff because this is invaluable and people can just walk off with it. And luckily, no one ever has.
No.
Right. They have enough volunteers in there where everything is really kept. Everything has a tight eye on it.
Right.
Now there's a couple of different things in Walt's barn that says "Please touch."
Oh.
Okay.
Like the SOS machine, not SOS machine.
The telegraph.
Thank you.
Telegraph machine. Yeah. Big red button says "Please touch." Guess what I did? I didn't touch it.
Yes, you did.
Well, I did, but only if it said "Please don't touch," but I want to touch it.
Exactly. Okay. And okay. So, what else was there besides that?
They had a train that went around the area that some of the track that was used came from the Holmby Hills estate.
Yeah.
Some of the train pieces came from Walt's personal collection. And the train, I'm sure you've seen footage of him going around his compound on his little tiny train, like a little kid on his train. You know what, Walt? You work very hard. Have something that brings so much fun and enjoyment to your life. And to see the footage of him going around the compound, waving at all his friends, having all his buddies in the back. Sometimes he'll go around the compound, he'll come back, and the train will have snow on it. I don't know where he goes, but it's fantastic. And the trip itself was like 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. You get to see these little tiny recreations of towns, and just the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's very low tech, which I really liked. You didn't have animatronics, you didn't have digital photography.
It's kind of like storybook canal boats.
Yeah.
On a train.
Yeah.
So you visit different areas, and it's a long ride. It's really fun. You kind of go around the whole place twice.
Yes, but do the barn first before you hit the train. And it's free to get in.
Yeah, the train is not free. The train is
$3.
$3
it's
a ride.
Free. All right.
Yeah.
But to get into Walt's barn itself is free.
Yes.
You have a little donation bucket there. You throw like $5-10 in there.
Oh yeah.
Because this is all volunteer run.
Well, it's operated by the nonprofit Carolwood Foundation, and so.
But the staff there that day, they're all volunteers.
Completely volunteers. Yes. So it's really, really neat.
Yeah. And what was even more neat, sometimes you'll see some passing familiar faces.
Yes, including ride designer and Imagineer Bob Gurr.
What?
I know!
He's just walking around!
It was amazing!
So we cornered him.
Well, yeah, now we should mention that he's worked on Autopia, Haunted Mansion, the Matterhorn, and the Monorail. Like, amazing. So this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah,
And
a little theme park experience called Harry Potter.
Oh.
Yeah, really, when are they going to do a follow-up book? I don't know. But yeah, so we said, hey, Mr. Gurr, would you mind if we could say...
If we could interview you.
So we said, hey, Mr. Gurr, would you mind if we spoke with you for a couple of minutes for our podcast, Skywalking Through Neverland? He's like 86 years old. He's like bouncing all over the place. Oh, sure, come on, lead me in. Here we go. Let's have some fun with this. It's like, okay. So this is our really fun improv interview with the legendary Bob Gurr.
Now, did he work on... He didn't work on Harry Potter.
I think he said he did. Yeah.
No.
I think, yeah.
He likes it, but he didn't work on it.
No, well, it's easy enough to edit up, but listen to it. I think he did say he worked on it.
Okay.
He may be been a consultant.
Okay. All right. I was so excited that we got to ask him about Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
Even though his answer was not our answer, but that's okay.
But you know what? It was a good answer.
Yeah.
And maybe Disney should listen to his answer.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's maybe put it in another park. In Long Beach. I'm all for that. So thank you, Mr. Bob Gurr, for being so approachable, so friendly, and just so upbeat at 86 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious. All right, with that, let's journey through the Clone Wars micro-series, Volume 2, with our Skywalking Through Neverland book reviewer, Jocasta Drew Kaplan, and Skywalker Nitsan Harel.
Okay. Woo, it's getting hot.
It's getting very hot.
Should I turn on the air?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, everyone, hold on for just a
Hold
second.
on a minute.
Hold on. Ooh, it is very hot. I'm wearing a Flash hat today. Do you guys know why? That's my way of saying, Lord Miller, bye. Go work on the Flash. Stay out of Han Solo. Stay out of our territory. Don't belong. My commentary. Never knew why they belonged in the first place. But now, go back. You know what? Do I want them on the Flash? No. No, I don't think they're appropriate for a movie like that. You know, a Lego movie, perfect for them. 21 Jump Street, doesn't matter which way you go with that one. But, I don't know, Star Wars, The Flash, I just don't want to see The Flash acting like Ace Ventura. I was telling everyone why I'm wearing a Flash hat.
Oh. Why?
It's my way of saying, Lord Miller, bye.
Oh.
Get out of our playground. All right?
Turning this up.
Go work on the Flash. But then I realized I don't want him to screw up the Flash.
Oh. Okay, so.
Alrighty.
Where are we? Still recording. Shoutouts. Okay, here we go. So I'll announce the shout out and you say why. How about that?
Okay.
Time for shoutouts. Now we want to give a huge shout out to Patrick Izzo.
And Patrick, thank you very much for making me gain 5 pounds this week. And why? Let's jump back in time to June the 1st when I posted this on Facebook. We were in Sam's Club and I noticed they were selling a product called Hostess Deep Fried Twinkies.
Oh my gosh.
I had to post this.
In the freezer section.
Yeah. I posted it on Facebook, not the freezer section, but these were in the freezer section.
Right.
And Patrick, he had commented and said, Twinkies are Bush League. I'll send you a box of tasty cakes right from Philly. You'll never want another Twinkie, fried or unfried, again. Okay, thank you very much. Hey, guess what showed up a week later?
Tasty cakes!
A box, a carton of tasty cakes with this very nice message. Dear Rich and Sarah, as promised, enclosed, please find genuine tasty cakes right from Philly. These beat Twinkies any day. Butterscotch crimpets and candy cakes were a staple of any Star Wars lunchbox back in the 80s. Thanks for all you guys do for the Skywalker family, and I hope you enjoy. Sincerely, Pat Izzo.
Aww.
P.S. There's a postscript here.
Yes.
Some people like their candy cakes cold, so you can try them out of the fridge or freezer, too.
P.S. Some people like their candy cakes cold, so you can try them out of the fridge or freezer, too.
Yes, yes.
And we did.
Yes.
They're actually really good from the fridge.
Very good. You know, in the fridge, out of the fridge, in the mouth.
Yeah, and in fact, what's funny is the candy cakes are peanut butter and chocolate, which I thought I would like better, but I actually like the butterscotch crimpettes a little better.
Peanut butter on anything? A weakness.
They're so good. Oh, glad you guys enjoyed them.
Hey. Yeah.
We still have them. There's 2 boxes in our freezer and 2 boxes in our fridge.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh.
Update, Sarah? They're no longer there.
Hey.
They're no longer there. Come on. They're peanut butter. How long do you think those were going to last?
Well, we want to thank you. And thank you for enclosing also the printout of why you sent these, because they're empty. Because that was very helpful. Because we're like, these are awesome! And we didn't quite remember, like I didn't quite remember what this was referring to. So by you including this
printout of my post.
It really helped.
Like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, I left you the empty boxes in the freezer.
Oh, well, I thank you.
So.
My waistline thanks you.
Yes, and we want to give a huge thanks to Patrick Izzo for helping me gain those last 8 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna call that holiday weight. The June holiday weight. The Father's Day holiday weight.
Yes.
All right, now let's move on to this fantastic selfie.
Yes, so on Twitter, we always ask you to tweet a hashtag Skywalker selfie, and that is, stop what you're doing right now. As you're listening, bring out your phone, take a selfie of whatever you're doing, and then post it on social media with hashtag Skywalker selfie. Well, Glenn Stein did just that, and he actually got a Skywalker selfie with Margaret Carey!
Our fairy pod mother.
And he happened to be at the Fanboy Expo in Knoxville, Tennessee, and actually drove 3.5 hours each way to get that selfie. So, wow. If that's dedication, I don't know what is. And he happened to be wearing his Skywalker of the Week shirt that day, too. So, we want to give a huge shout out to Glenn Stein.
Yeah, and thanks for representing Skywalking Through Neverland at Fanboy Expo. And getting a selfie with Margaret Carey.
Alright, give me a second. I need to check on something here. If she has not responded, I don't want to mention it. Oh. Give me a second. Okay, good. Okay. Alright. Now, this next shout out comes from our Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group, which, once again, you can join if you search for Skywalking Through Neverland group on Facebook, and then request to join, and then answer the little quiz questions. You have to answer those questions to be let in. Now, Carol Cantwell. Now, I should preface this by, our Facebook group is a great way to get to know others, to get to make friends, virtually all over the world, and also for some helpful advice. So, Carol Cantwell, she posted in the group yesterday, in need of some recommendations. I'm putting together a Star Wars camp for my niece with leukemia who has to be mostly homebound this summer. She loves Rey and Jyn and reading, so any great graphic novels out there I could get her, or good sources for that kind of thing, thanks in advance. And the comments from Skywalkers, there must be 20 comments here, from Skywalkers offering to send her books, and just offering advice on which books to do. Like Kai Charles says, the little golden books, Star Wars editions. They have a Force Awakens one.
Good for any age, by the way.
Richard, you said Rebel Rising.
Fantastic book.
Yeah. And Donald Wicks actually offered, he said that you can also make a request with the Rebel Legion and ask if they could possibly send a couple characters, Rey or Jyn, to visit her, with a link to where she could request that, which is so amazing. Missy Kaya said it depends on her age, but Rey's survival guide is fun. And let's see. Oh, Brian Sims. When and where is the event? Do you have time for a mail package? I can put together a box of comic books for you. So these are like so amazing. I guess it's in August. that this event is happening. And, you know, even in the comments, Carol Cantwell responded and said, "Thank you so much to all my fellow Skywalkers and to Richard and Sarah for nurturing such a generous community. You all have brought a lot of light already into a tough situation.
Aw.
Truly and deeply appreciated."
Yeah,
So,
poor little girl. And Kai Charles had offered to send a mini Lego kit.
yeah,
Oh my goodness! Look at these Skywalkers.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
it's really, really amazing.
Yeah.
Aww.
Look at these comic books that Brian's gonna send.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
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 So we just shout out to all you Skywalkers.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. And
Thank you for helping each other.
if you want to be part of this positive, amazing Facebook group, yeah, just once again, request to join on Facebook. Make sure you answer those questions and you'll be a part of this great group. We love it.
Yeah, and Carol, give us an update on how your niece is doing.
Yes.
Maybe a picture of her reading the comic books and any chance to see a child smiling. Always worth it.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm not sure if this is sweat or tears.
I know.
That was heartfelt.
It was.
All right, now let's move on to the Skywalker of the week.
We want to give a big shout out. Thank you, Michelle Morris, who posted on YouTube, "Check out my favorite show with the best hosts." And, well, she actually posted a link to YouTube, so that was really cool. We really appreciate that, Michelle, and we've definitely gone up some subscribers on our YouTube channel. So, yay, we asked you guys to do that for YouTube, and we really appreciate it.
And if they do post something on YouTube, it bumps you right up to that top of the list for the Skywalker of the week by our good friend and podcast composer, Rob Dellinger, who is...
The John Williams of podcasting! Yay! All right, are we on our outro?
We're on the outro.
Here we go. Well, why don't you say that one, because I have something after
Okay.
I added.
Okay. Well, that wraps up episode 174 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We'd like to thank Drew Kaplan, Nitzan Harel, Dave Parfit for his fandom highlight moment, and all the Skywalkers who listen week in and week out. We appreciate you carving out some time to join us.
Absolutely. And we want to give a big reminder here for our YouTube channel. Every week we share not only the show, we also share our behind the scenes of the show, which we're recording right now. And we also have our weekly series called Archival Revival, which is exclusive to YouTube. And this week in our Archival Revival playlist, we've posted more Star Wars Laserdisc supplemental material, including an interview with George Lucas on his casting choices, like especially Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, and also an interview with Ralph McQuarrie on his concept art, and also some behind-the-scenes stills from Star Wars. So be sure to head over to YouTube and subscribe, youtube.com/skywalkingthrough-neverland, and then you'll always be notified of these new videos every week, plus our live watch of the show every week.
Right, so join us on YouTube, and then head on over to retrozap.com, where you can find some great podcasts and some articles, reviews, and once again, the podcasts. Wow, so many great shows with so many great different points of view, like Brews and Blasters,
The Beltway Banthas podcast,
the Deucecast movie show,
Starships, Sabers, and Scoundrels,
and Talking Apes TV, where we're about to record the series wrap-up on Return to the Planet of the Apes, and we're going to also give our review for War for the Planet of the Apes.
Whoa, awesome.
Which we just saw at a press screening last week. I'm so happy. Hashtag happiness. A Star Wars film and a Planet of the Apes film in the same year?
Yeah?
What a time we're living in. Oh, I just put that together right now.
It's like the 70s all over again.
Oh my goodness. Oh, long live the 70s. And you can also find us over at jedinews.co.uk.
Yes. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we are at SkywalkingPod nearly everywhere, Twitter, Instagram. And then on Facebook, we are Skywalking Through Neverland. And make sure to email us those stories of fandom. Email us share@skywalkingthrough-neverland.com.
I'm very excited to hear what people's highlights are.
Yes.
Once again, not just stories, like, hey, I had a good time here and a good time here, but what really pushed the envelope for fandom.
Yes. All right, now stay tuned as always for little bits of conversation and bloopers that didn't really make it into the main show. And right after that, stay cool and always remember
to stay out of Los Angeles because it's really hot. And to...
Don't say to. And. Yes, that's good.
That's why I left the pause.
Yes. Okay. Yay! We're done.
There you go. All right, we're going to go towel off.
Yeah, really.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us once again. Much appreciated.
Was this never on? Should have been on. Okay, well, weird. All right. Well, bye, everyone.
That was Facebook.
That was Facebook. Yes, I went to